So now I'd like to introduce this morning's speaker, John DiJulius. I had to practice that a few times. I heard the conference planning committee, they were vetting potential keynotes. And time again, the conference planning committee members would go on and on and on about John DiJulius. I've said it perfect twice now. And so I'm sitting there thinking, okay, well, who is this guy? So I go out to YouTube and I'm looking at a video, right? I look up at my clock and like 35 minutes later, I'm still watching, YouTube videos of John DiJulius. So this is fantastic. You guys are really in store for something here. John's an international consultant and best-selling author. He works with world-class companies, many five-star hotels like the Ritz-Carlton, Starbucks, Harley-Davidson, and my favorite, Chick-fil-A. John just isn't talking about what he does, he actually lives it. He's an entrepreneur and has John Roberts Spa, a chain of spas in the Cleveland area, repeatedly named as one of the top 20 spa locations in America. He also has the DiJulius Group, and it's a consulting firm that that's focused on changing the world by creating a customer service revolution. Please join me in welcoming John to the stage. Everybody.
Get warmed up in here.
You tell me that it's evolution and
All right. It was 1998. February 1998, I was in Orlando, Florida, trying to answer this question. What's the secret? We've all asked this, both as consumers and people running business. Why is it so hard to find world-class customer service, to experience it? Why do so few companies train, hire, and why is it so hard to find frontline employees willing to give it? Growing my first business, as Ben said, from a 4-chair, 900-square-foot hair salon in 1993 to, as we were growing, we wanted it to be known as a world-class customer service company, not a world-class customer service salon. And it was easier when we first started, because 4 people you're working with, me and my wife at the time, and whether you got it or you didn't, you had to get it. But as we started growing and expanding and opening new locations, we actually went backwards in customer service. And that's where I started realizing not everyone's like we think. So I started studying. I was writing my first book, Secret Service. Basically what I was trying to get answered was, how do companies like Nordstrom's, Disney's, and the Ritz-Carltons of the world get 50,000 employees, associates, to execute world-class customer service on a consistent basis while so many of us struggle with a team of 25, 150, 200. So one of my journeys took me to Disney Institute, where I got to go underground and behind the scenes for 4 days. And it was one of the best learning experiences I ever had. However, I learned the more to the question, what's the secret, the day after class concluded. We still had a few days left at Disney. I was in a pool with my sons. And we're at this wonderful Port Orleans pool, the Dragon Slide, and that's all my kids wanted to do. And I have my littlest one. So Johnny was 6 at the time, and Cal was 1. So Johnny's swimming, I get Cal in the water, and Johnny, I finally get Cal acclimated to the water, and Johnny swims over. He goes, "Dad, my favorite color is yellow." It's our code word that he has to go potty. I don't want to be in a nice restaurant, hotel, resort, and my kids say, "Dad, I go pee." So you probably know what it means if he says my favorite color is brown, right? So he says, "Daddy, my favorite color is yellow." And I'm like, "Johnny, couldn't you have done this 10 minutes ago? I just got Cal acclimated to the water. Now I got to take him out, dry him off, and go look for a public restroom." So instead, I told Johnny to do something very, very bad. I said, "Just go in the water." He said, "You kidding?" I said, "No, we all do it, right?" Come on, help me out here, someone. Ben, help me out, right? So Johnny swims away, and I keep on playing with Cal, and a few moments later, I hear people screaming and laughing. I turn and look. Johnny climbs out of the pool, goes to the edge of the pool, pulls down his trunks, and I don't have a picture. Unfortunately for all of you, it's a very true story. So let's hope for the next 60 minutes I'm a better presenter than I am parent. I swim over and go, what are you doing? He goes, well, you told me. But think about that. That's exactly what's wrong with customer service today. In all our businesses, we're all guilty of this. Johnny did exactly what I told him to do. Now rest assured that he and all three of my boys today know the proper way to pee in a pool. How good your properties are, your management company is, comes down to one thing and one thing only. Your service aptitude of the owner of the management company, general manager, to the newest housekeeper, maintenance, reservation that you're about to hire. And this is making the biggest point right here. This is so important. Service aptitude comes from three places. None of us, including me, Mark, Ben, none of us had high service aptitude when we entered the work world. It's not taught. It comes from three primary places. Write this down, please. Well, first, service aptitude is a person's ability to recognize opportunities, to exceed customers' expectations, and the last four words here are key, regardless of the circumstances. So on your slowest day, slowest week, occupancy's, less than 30%, we're looking pretty good. Let's talk about, depending on, what coast you're on or wherever you're at, your peak week. How good are we then? Who's the face of your company? You? The general manager? No. It is the most recent hired, least trained, lowest paid employees that deal with our customers the most. So, here's the three places service aptitude is created. Previous life experiences. Most of us didn't grow up staying at five-star resorts, driving Mercedes-Benz, flying first class, and getting $150 haircuts. Yet, when we got hired, someone told us, and one of the worst things, it's a great saying, love it, but it's the worst compass for your customer service vision is the golden rule. I don't want my frontline employees treating our guests, our clients, the way they want to be treated. Johnny today is 22 years old. He's at Ohio State. If you hired him in any capacity, say, Johnny, I want you to treat our guests the way you want to be treated. What's up, dude? Got to pull up his jeans because, right? Because that's his circle. He loves that. Train him for 3-4 weeks, polish him up, have non-negotiables, he could be a rock star. Second place is previous work experiences. Unless you are hiring people directly from Chick-fil-A, Nordstrom's, the Ritz-Carlton, that means they've worked at a place that wasn't world-class, and someone made them paranoid. I want my employees to be naive. Someone said, don't let customers do that. They try to take advantage of it, and they say, okay, and they protect, and they're doing their job. And then you can't believe they treated your best VIP guest that comes several times a year like that. It's not their fault. And the third place is current work experiences. I guarantee you, on every website, on every employee manual that you give, you mention how important customer service is. But now do the math. Whoever you hire tomorrow, before you're allowed to let me come in contact with a guest on the phone, face-to-face, walk in their room for housekeeping or maintenance, whatever interaction, how much training do you give me? Whatever that is. Half day, a week, 2 weeks, whatever that is. Now do the math. Of that time, how much is technical, operational, and how much is soft skill, how to build a relationship, how to do service recovery. Typically, it's like 99%. All right, here's how you book an appointment. Here's how you get their credit card. Here's how you show them, the walk through the property. So this is the most important thing I can say that you need to leave here with. It is not your employee's responsibility to have high service aptitude. It's the company's to teach it. It's not their fault. You're not going to hire anybody with high service aptitude. State of service. Before I go on, in the handouts, I think maybe the handouts are probably safe for the workshop, but if you just write this down or take a picture of this, you go to the DiJuliusGroup.com, and there's a login and a download. You can get every slide here for free. Every slide. For the keynote, the access code is VRMA. I go like a machine gun, so you're not going to be able to keep up with me as far as the slides, but you can download. They're already there now. So you can leave. Go to the bar, go to the pool, you got the slides. How many people here feel that their properties delivers outstanding customer service? Raise your hand. Raise them high. I just want to see a percentage of the room. All right, congratulations. And you're probably the best of your industry, or you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be part of VRMA. There was a study done by Bain & Company asking 300 senior-level people that same question from 300 different companies. 80% said they were world-class. Maybe they were. What they didn't know is at the same time they were surveying 3,000 other customers. Anybody want to take a guess at the percentage of customers felt they were receiving it? Lower. What? Lower. 8. 80% of them, 80% of you raised your hand. Now, look at your own experience. It's easy when you travel to get here, right? How many experiences do you have? Do you have to have before one of them is, oh my God, what is your name? I want to tell you, I want to write an email. I want to bring it back to my property on Monday and share it in a meeting, how we can make guests feel like she made me feel. Is it 1 out of every 10 experiences? No way. 1 out of every 20? If you're lucky, but that's 5% of your experiences. So this is $1 million question. And you can spend and should 2 days on it. So I ask people, everyone has answers, and they're always the same. But one of the most popular one is, who's right, by the way? Hey, we're in the customer perception business. You can tell me all day how great your experience is, the resort is, but your renewals, resigns, retention, whatever metric doesn't lie. I forget what it's called, but your reviews, an anomaly is 1, 2 is a conspiracy, 3 is a pattern, right? So the first answer I get when I say why 80% of us think we deliver and only 8% feel that they receive it is, well, we don't ask them. Maybe we're not asking them. Asking is huge. We got to measure all that. But I love Steve Jobs' quote, don't ask the customers what they want, give them what they can't live without. Look at these revolutionary companies. They didn't improve on the industry. They reinvented it. Whenever I work with a company, we don't look at what other vacation rental properties or what other fast food or whatever accounting firms are doing. That's the last place we want to look. Because we don't want to be the best vacation rental property. We want to be the best experience they have, period. And picture if this was 1975, and you were a bunch of coffee drinkers, and I was doing a focus group with you. And I said, what would you like in a coffee drinking experience? You'd have said, a what? A coffee what? You would have said there's 2 ways, with or without cream, with or without sugar for about 25 cents. I don't think you would have raised your hand and said, yes, I would like to be able to spend 10 times as much. Okay, write that down. And over there, you would have raised your hand and said, I would like to be able to order it over 80,000 ways and get it, which is a true number. And then finally, you wouldn't have said that I would like to be able to hang out here for 10 minutes or 2 hours and be relaxed and left alone. You wouldn't have said that. And you wouldn't have gotten the Starbucks experience. or the iPhone. Right? This is my clicker. You guys think I'm checking text messages. I'm waiting for my buddy to tell me what happened last night. Henry Ford said it. If I would have asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. It's true. Customer feedback is great to tell you how you're currently doing, what's right, what's wrong. Customer feedback is horrible for innovation and what's next. So, here is the number one answer. There's a lot of answers why there's a gap between what we think and what your employee thinks. Right? If I checked in and you asked me, how was your check-in? I wasn't overly impressed. If you went and asked the reservation check-in agent, she put her on light. She's convinced it was world class. She gave me the keys. She gave me the packet. She showed me. She's convinced. The reason is that in every business, the frontline employees are not the customer, and they haven't been, right? As your reservationist going on vacation, what you do, it's real easy. What's your average customer? 40s, family of 5, whatever it is. It's different for all you. Making so much money, going on trips, what's your average frontline employee? Usually their age range, their economic status isn't similar, so I can't relate. When I work with Ritz-Carlton's and the Marriott, we talk about, they say one of their biggest complaints or struggles they have is dealing with business travelers. That's me, right? It's all you. So this relies to your world. I get there at 3 o'clock and my room isn't ready and I lose my mind. But that girl doesn't travel. How can she be empathetic? I'm just being a jerk. God, this guy can't wait 30 minutes. So what if she saw a day in my life? We all know what this is. Get up at 4, rush to the airport, get in line for the shuttle, get in line for this, get in line for it, wait and get on the plane, wait to get off, wait to the cab. What if she saw a reality TV show play out where I pull up and she sees I'm at the valet or getting out of the cab? Would that change? Would my room be ready? Yes or no? No. She can't control inventory, late checkout, housekeeping. But what would be different? Her compassion and empathy. I apologize, Mr. DiJulius. What is it that you need? Well, I'm in a shirt and shorts. I smell, and I have a meeting in 45 minutes. Oh, we have a beautiful spa, men's toiletry. Problem solved. Or I have a conference call, webinar. I have to give at 4 o'clock. I need to be in my room for. I'm going to ask our general manager to vacate his office, and you can use it for as long as you want. Problem solved. I didn't even need my room. So, one of the best places we start with every client we have is a day in the life of their customer. Because the answer is, you can't change who you're hiring, right? You can't go hire the 45-year-old, or whoever. The person you're hiring is the person you're hiring, it should be. But we got to create empathy and compassion, and they have to be able to see, whoa, I didn't realize. So, I've done this for every company we've worked with. I'm going to show you a 5-star resort, which has similar experiences, but this is their day in the life. Sound? What'd you think? It's not identical to your model, but there's a lot of similarities. But I could show you a Chick-fil-A one, and you'd be crying. No, everyone, you're crying. It's not all good and bad. It needs to be a roller coaster. And in my breakout at 11, I'm going to show you how to do one. It doesn't have to be, a $50,000 or even a $20,000 video, okay? But every employee has to see that. And so what they ended on Nemacolin is their service vision is to own every moment. Because as you guys know, you can't be perfect. My first business is spa, right? We got to be perfect for 90 minutes, right? The consulting business, phone calls here and there and emails, perfect on whatever that looks like for 60 minutes. I'm going to be with you for 72 hours to 21 days. Something's going to go wrong. Guaranteed, right? Whether it's in your control, out of your control, something's going to go wrong. But what every employee thinks is if the steak is right and what you ordered, you got it. If your keys in your room was ready, you got it. If your wedding was spectacular, you got it. No. It's all the little. That's why it's own every moment. It's walking down the hallway and you smile and nod. It's that she remembers who I am. Here. My kids are like, God, we're like celebrities here. It's all those little moments that when she says, do you have, we don't say, no. Let me see what I can do. Or, well, we don't have this, we have this. And the way I make it sound is you don't want that anymore. You want what I'm at. So we need to create compassion and empathy. World-class customer service companies do two things better than everyone else. They dictate what service aptitude has to be. New employees, but ongoing. It's not just once a year. Annual customer service conference or a meeting with your employees, your staff, is like deodorant. By the time it wears off and the smell comes back. Can't do it once a year. Second thing is they constantly put themselves and their their employees in the shoes of the customer. And let's talk about that. Who's your customer? I don't want to know their age. Guests, right? Renters, whatever we call them. Who else? Owners. And I know we know that, but I feel like it's a back burner. Do we have someone who is obsessive about the owner experience? I'm going to give you some great ideas that it's going to freak you out. But here's my thing. If I give you an idea that you like, write it down. If I give you an idea that is so bizarre and crazy and he don't know our industry, write it down, circle it. That's the idea. I'll give you some. Don't worry. Negative cues. Every business has negative cues, especially the hotel, resort, retail, brick and mortar. Build your company's customer experience as if no customer has bad intentions. Every opportunity, visually, signage, verbiage, is an opportunity, and it's a marketing and branding opportunity. Why do so many companies, make agreements and policies that sound so angry? I just checked in for a doctor's office. Here's a verbal negative cue. She says, I need to verify your information. I swear to God, it's me. She thinks I'm using my buddies, right? So what's a word you can change that it's not insulting or threatening? Confirm or update. And actually, when you say that, thank you, because since I was here last, I've moved and I have different insurance. So you're actually doing me a favor because if you didn't do that, we'd be, be getting bills that I shouldn't be paying, blah, blah, blah. Right? Every word matters. All those. Employees must wash hands before returning to work. That freaks me out. Right now, I'm thinking they didn't. I stopped into a fast food, ran into the bathroom first before I ordered. They have 4 signs. Same sign, above the door handle, above the dispenser towels, above the soap, and above the mirror. I'm like, they must have an epidemic. I ran out of there, right? I'm not ordering there. Now, 30% I'm going to challenge you, the signs you have, you need to have. Like this is in most, restaurants is a requirement by their state legislation, whatever. But I've seen signs where sanitation is important to us. That's why 100% of our employees are committed to it. Says the same thing. Our spa used to say no cell phones past this point. You don't like that. You tell me no, I'm doing it. I've never turned my phone off on a plane, right? Never. But if you say, before you go into our spa, we want to thank you for keeping this a cell phone free, relaxing atmosphere. Oh, I like to help, right? How about this one? Must have receipt before using restroom.
I didn't feel it was a crime.
You're away from home. You find yourself needing a restroom. You can't wait. What do? Barnes found a restaurant called The Flood Zone, went in and asked the employee behind the counter if she could use the facilities.
She just said, sure.
But then a few days later, Barnes got a handwritten note from the restaurant, a bill of sorts, saying she owed them $5. The note mentioned there was a sign specifically saying there's a $5 charge for non-flood zone customers. Barnes says she didn't see it. And how did the owners get Barnes's address? They wrote down her license plate number, and the sheriff traced it.
Well, I just thought it was unbelievable. I'm like, what type of people are they?
Think about the resources, right? Now, we're all guilty of this in some way, not to that extreme. I'm no longer involved in my spa business. Still own it, oversee it from afar. Consulting and speaking is all I do. But last year in August, I sat in on a manager's meeting of the spas, and someone brought up at 9:30, hey, customers are taking advantage of us, and they're using this coupon or incentive, more than once, and they're not supposed to. And another person from another salon of ours says, yeah, that's happened here. So I'm just listening, right? Kind of doing my emails, just, listening. 9:30, 10:15. They're still just how we can catch it. So I say, guys, I got to ask you something. How often does this happen? Oh, all the time. Well, how often? She says, it's happened at least 3 times this year. Someone else says, yeah, it's happened twice in my salon. So we just spent 45 minutes on something that may happen one more time this year, right? For $5 or whatever it is. What if we would have spent that 45 minutes on better experience, marketing, promotion, whatever it was? Don't worry. Let her have it. I'm not worried about that. Retail, check-in. If you're on your cell phone, we won't wait on you. Really? Really? Sorry, we're closed. Today we cannot speak to you or give you directions. A resort. I can't even read all this. It is crazy. It is ridiculous. I'm not even going to bother to. Where's my friends in the Cape? I know we got Cape people here. You here? This is an antique store we pulled into. Front place. I didn't go in. Really? Don't punish 98% of the customers for what you're afraid 2% are going to get away with. Don't worry about it. We spend so much time trying to catch that 2% that I've insulted the 98%. We'll do it for checked in and there's a mess here. Housekeeping said they cleaned it. We'll clean it again. Right? Probably was a mess. Maybe they missed it. Who knows? No. Our housekeeping signed off on the paper that this room is done. Right? Is that worth it? Is that worth it? What is a customer service revolution? We take this very seriously. It is a radical overthrow of conventional business mentality designed to transform what employees and customers experience. Radical overthrow. Don't think like property management companies. The shift produces a culture that permeates into people's personal lives at home and in the community, which in turns provides the business with higher sales, morale, brand loyalty, and my favorite phrase, making price irrelevant. You can do that. A lot of great companies are. Now, making price irrelevant doesn't mean you raise your rates 50% and you won't lose and occupancy won't go down. But what it does mean is based on the experience your team consistently delivers, from website to checkout, everything in between. Your guests have no idea what the competition charges. I'm not comparing if you're in Florida what I could get down the street, because the experience and the memories that we have. And every one of us has that. Every single one of you has we're all price sensitive. If you've been like me, I've driven 3 extra miles to save 50 cents on something, not realizing I just lost in the transaction, right? But every one of us has a company or two that we are so loyal to as a consumer. And if I say, well, who's your handyman, or who's your hairdresser, whatever it is, you might not even know what the market charges, nor do you care, right? Right? So the best thing I have in the spa business, this is our 22nd year. Every single year, I don't know too many companies that could say this, every single year, 21 years, we've had our best year ever. Every single year has beaten the year before. In 2008, 2009, it was by a few dollars, right? We were like everyone. We felt it. And during that time, January 2009, when we were scared, and you guys, I don't have to tell you what it's like. We didn't know, if the bottom had dropped out. A salon opens up down the street, puts this sign in their window. We do $10 haircuts. My staff freaked. Now, we're in Cleveland. The average haircut isn't expensive in Cleveland. It's $25, $28. Our cheapest, we have levels 1 through 10, hairdressers. For a woman's haircut, our cheapest is $50, and we have hairdressers over over $100, okay? Our staff freaks. It's slow, it's January, it's slow, it's 2009. They're like, oh my God, they're going to put us out of business. We got to start running promotion, we got to start discount. No. Let's focus on what our experience is. Let's focus on what we say we do, and let's really do it. And let's strengthen it. And we put this sign in our window. And really sad to say, by August 2009, that salon went out of business. I don't compete in price wars. That's not my game. If it's not your game, don't get sucked into it, because there's always someone willing to go out of business faster and cut their prices even more. I like to compete in experience wars, because there's not a lot of people doing it, and the ones that are, struggle with doing it, and I'm really good at it, right? You got to be really good at it, unless your model is. But here's the thing that you have going on in your business. You have a lot of noise. Bottom feeders, price cutters, people who aren't in compliant, right? A lot of stuff going on. I understand that. It's like Uber to the taxi cab drivers. I mean, every industry has it. And I just watched a video of Jeff Bezos from Amazon. That's what I do on Fridays and Saturday nights. I love Howard Schultz and all these, I watch YouTube videos about customer service. And Jeff Bezos said it so good. Their service vision is, we obsess over the customer. Ever since we obsess over the, and he goes on, and I'm getting all inspired, but he said something that was so smart that we all need to hear. He says, at Amazon, that's 100% of our focus. We obsess over the customer, every detail, and what we could bring in a year that no one's thought of. We spend zero time, this is the brilliance, zero time looking at our competitors. We do not pay attention to it. I love that. Ignore the noise. Let them do whatever they're going to do. Let them price. Let them be in compliance, whatever it is. Don't get a chip on your shoulder. Don't say it's unfair. Don't make a great experience. And why would I even consider that? But where are we spending our resources? Hunting that woman down to get that $5, right? We're spending, you wouldn't believe what they're doing, how they're doing it, blah, 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 blah. Or, hey, how's our experience? How's our experience? How can we be better when we check in? And here's the mindset I want my staff to have. I don't want people to hear it, right? But I want my staff to think of it. We are the premium provider. We will never be oversold. In fact, if you find a higher price, we will match it. Think about that. have that paradigm shift, because then there becomes this burden of, if you're going to do that, how are you going to justify it, right? How are you going to I'm upset if there's someone more expensive than me. I asked Sheila, was there a more expensive speaker than me? I want to know why. Right? Because I'm going to match him. But I gotta beat his experience. I got to beat what he brings. Have that mindset, and it'll change everything. Be the brand your customers can't live without. And do this exercise with your staff, right? Ask them. I love this exercise. If I got to look at your checkbook, credit card, everything you spend your money on, I could study it for a day. I'm going to come back tomorrow and choose one company you can never do business with again. What would you lose sleep tonight that I was going to pick? What would you be so afraid of, right? Mine, I have 3. Starbucks, Apple, and Amazon. I would like freak out if you took any of those away from me. How can we be that? How can we be that company that, don't monkey with it? So when my spouse says we got to cut it back or whatever, okay, we'll pack lunch, we'll go out to dinner less, but we're still going to our favorite vacation place. Because the memory is there, right? So what's a customer service vision? Your company, like every company, has missions, visions, purposes. And you know what? Your employees don't know one of them. They don't know. They're probably 2, 3 paragraphs, and they get confused with all of them. And no, that's our purpose. No, that's our mission, right? Everyone does that. If there's one thing your frontline employees need to know, is your customer service vision statement. That's it. I work with a big bank, and their mission is to be the most well-respected financial institution in the world. What does that mean to a teller when you're coming in? What can she do about that? I want something that she's burdened, that she has to do with every interaction. Every interaction. So a customer service vision statement is the customer never sees it. You only advertise it to your employees. And it's what makes them want to get up and drive to work tomorrow. They are not, a reservation. They have a bigger, that's why the day in the life leads. That's why you have to own every moment at Nemacolin. Because you got someone who's sick, lost her mother, her spouse is going off to a war tomorrow, right? They saved 3 years to take this vacation. That changes everything. Instead of next, room 201, villa 5, that's what we call our customers. Disney's create one of the most special memories of a person's life. That's powerful. I think they live up to it. So I'm touring Disney Underground. Magic Kingdom is a whole underground. Cast members punch in and punch out. Can I walk on it? I need more room. Alex, can I walk on those? Just kidding. And cast members punch in, punch out, take breaks. I'm touring Magic Kingdom, and 15 feet away from me, just outside the doors, see Snow White smoking a cigarette, complaining about some guy, right? She's like, that idiot called me last. I'm like, holy cow, this is Snow White. A few moments later, she comes back in. She freshens herself up. She punches back in. She goes up these stairs, through these bushes, and she reappears on Magic Kingdom ground. And 15 little 5, 6, and 7-year-olds come charging at her. And she turns back in this beautiful, angelic princess, posing for pictures, signing their pads. Downstairs, in the parking lot, on break, she was Susie Smith, about 22, that had a jerk for a boyfriend or a dwarf or whatever he is. My 6-year-old was there to see Snow White. It's exactly what she gave him. Why? Because how well Disney teaches the part that she plays in that service vision, how well Disney teaches the shuttle bus drivers and the housekeeping, the part that they play in making it one of the most special memories. I've spoken in the 2000s, for Starbucks. But 2010, we got the coolest job as a consulting firm. Just before that, Starbucks went through like everyone, but you'll see.
No company is immune from the impact of the recession, not even the one-time darling of Wall Street, Starbucks.
After 37 years of growth, Starbucks is struggling to put the mo back in its Joe.
In a memo to his top executives, Howard Schultz admitted changes have led to a dilution of the experience and a loss of the romance and theater of Starbucks, opening the door to competitors. This must be eradicated.
So, one of the first things they did was called the DiJulius Group. So we need your help reinventing, redoing our 37-year-old customer service vision statement. I was thrilled. I was so excited. It's Starbucks. I love Starbucks. No one does a better job than us at creating a service vision statement. I was so excited until I asked this question. What is your current customer service vision statement that you want to change from? They said, it's to inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, one neighborhood at a time. I'm like, damn. I didn't tell them that. I'm like, that's horrible, right? I'm like, I don't think this Starbucks thing is going to catch on, right? So I said to them, I said, what don't you like about it, right? Because whatever you say, I'll agree with. They said, it's too big. It's too big for a frontline barista. Again, if I come in and ask you for a venti soy latte and you make it exactly how I have it in 90 seconds with a smile, maybe know my name, did you inspire and nurture the human spirit? Probably not. There's no way to tell. Now, these are important words. These are Howard Schultz's words. They kept it, moved it up to their purpose, because that does happen over the course of 200 positive experiences, 2 years. It's happened to me. It's happened to a lot of you. But it doesn't happen on one interaction. So we sat there and they said, we want something that's measurable, actionable, trainable, observable. That I could stand next to her, watch her engage and say yes or no. You can't say yes or no to that. So we do a day in the life of a Starbucks. I'm going to show something similar at the breakout. At the breakout, this is a high-level keynote. In the breakout, I'm going to teach you how you do this. This is just what you do. Next time you go into a Starbucks anywhere, not the one we, let's say we serve, a real legitimate Starbucks in San Diego, LA, Florida, Malaysia, Australia. They all wear the green aprons. Ask them to turn over the inside of the top of their green apron. That's where their customer service vision statement is. Why? Why is it there? It's for them to see it 20 times a day taken out. It's not for you to see. It's for them. They don't advertise this to the customer. There it is. It's in every language. We create inspired moments in each customer's day. And just as important is the pillars. So this customer service vision, that's what I'm going to talk about this afternoon, is what you have to do with every single, not, oh, I nailed it with my first one, and then the last one. No, every single person. That's the what. What's more important is the how. Because just telling you to create inspired moments, what does that mean? How? In their world, anticipate, connect, personalize, and own. Anticipate is you're in a suit at 6:05 in the morning on your Bluetooth, won't look up. You know I'm going to say, hey, did you see the game? You got someplace to be. Versus you're a soccer mom that comes in every day after she drops off her kids, meets her friends, and you hang out. That's a different engagement. I got to read that and study that. Connect. I know it's Ben. I know he drinks this. I have it ready. Or maybe I don't know you, but I love your scarf. I love your glass. I still make a connection within the 90 seconds. Personalizes, there's over 80,000 ways you can order it. We'll give it to you. Own is my favorite. You take a sip and you have that face. Is that not what you wanted? I'd be happy to remake it for you or make you something totally different. Your daughter drops her hot chocolate. I can give her a new one. I'm not going to have her hand. I can own the experience, right? So there's a whole logic behind this.
We want to go back to what we really stand for. And we want to provide our customers and our people a sense of pride and confidence in the authenticity of the Starbucks experience.
We have a lot of work to do, but our research tells us we're making real progress on every measure of customer satisfaction.
We're not in the transaction speed business. We're in the business literally, of enhancing people's day.
Starbucks' best days, I truly believe, are in front of us.
We've never been in the coffee business serving people. We've always been in the people business serving coffee.
All right. One last thing I'm going to touch on in this keynote, we'll work on it later, is secret service. This is the secret sauce. This, honest to God, I work with a lot of industries. No industry has an easier opportunity to do this. And I can't stress enough how important this is. Okay, so secret service systems is hidden systems that deliver unforgettable customer service. It's the ability to take customer intelligence and personalize that, to get them to say, how'd they know that, how'd they do that? Customer intelligence is not how smart our customers are, how smart we are about them. And in your world, picture some of the businesses we've been talking about. If you come up to Disney and me as an attraction, walking, ask me, I don't have a database. I can't cheat. You don't have an appointment. Or Chick-fil-A or Starbucks. They can't cheat. So think about it. 99% of the people you deal with, after maybe the first window shopping call, you know who they are, right? They've already made their appointment. They're coming back. You know that you're expecting them today. I'm telling you, and you'll like this. This is the 4 rules. If we're going to implement a secret service system, it has to match this criteria. No cost, right? We like that. Simple to do, because everyone's job is complicated. I don't need to add complexity. Most important to you, 0 productivity added, which means if our typical booking, phone call, whatever that may be, is 3 minutes, it won't add 10 seconds to it. A check-in, it won't add 10 seconds to it. When maintenance comes, and if I'm in the room, it won't add 10 seconds. We don't want to slow people down where you need more employees, blah, blah, blah. The biggest thing to the customer is it's a wow. I'm not getting this anywhere else.
Morning, Wayne. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Coffee?
Don't mind if I do.
2 creams, right?
Yep.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Now, what can I do for you?
That is secret service, literally and figuratively, right? How do they take their coffee to, and you guys have it. The better the experience, the less price becomes an issue. So here's what you need. You need to have silent cues and visual triggers. Where's my friend Denny? Denny. Oh, you told me you were going to leave if I wasn't good, so you stayed. Whew. We're talking, bugging him at the pool yesterday, and last thing he says to me, he says, you better be better than this conversation. My God. No, me and Denny are talking about, and they have great systems. Great system. Their CRM program tells them who's, and you're returning, but I said, that's all well and good. But 2 things. And, we know the Ray Clark, because he's in here all the time. That's great. But if you hire Suzanne yesterday, Ray Clark, your VIP, should not suffer and have her say, have you ever been here, and treat him as such, right? So that's why we have to have silent cues and visual triggers, and you'll see why. You come into John Roberts Spa, any of our locations, see a bunch of people getting a haircut. You see 8 or 9 in a black John Roberts haircutting cape, 1 or 2 in a white. What's that mean to you? We have white and black capes. What's it mean to our team members? Anyone in white has never been here before. Silent cue, visual trigger. So now I can stop and say, hey, hope your first experience is that, hey, I'm Jennifer. I'd love to give you a complimentary policy. And you say, is there a sign on my back? No, we pay attention to things. Black cape, old friend. Gold cape, VIP. Now, you don't have to have worked here 3 years, 3 weeks, or 3 hours to understand. We don't treat white capes better. We treat them differently. We explain more. Show you some others. Different color napkin at a restaurant. Nemacolin, the resort I just showed you. Okay? Their do not disturb signs are tassels. Love that. Less signage, the better. But here's the brilliance that we worked on and they created. This is their white cape for housekeeping, maintenance, anyone that comes to it. If it's a red tassel, now, typically the tassel's on the inside. That's a do not disturb, right? But it's on the inside. If anyone comes to your room and you have a red tassel, that means it's the first time you've ever been to this property. So if I do bump into the guest, different, welcome to our property. How's your stay? Do you need to know where anything is? Do you need to have dining? Housekeeping saying it. Maintenance is keeping that. Versus it's the gold's tassel. Hey, welcome back to our property again. It's great having you back. He could have started yesterday. That's right, I'm a VIP here, right? Everyone knows me. Yeah, because you have a white cape. Figure out what your white cape is. Here's the goal. Let's be honest. To create an outstanding experience with average employees. I don't want you to have to go get I don't want you to build an experience that if we can have Superman and Superwoman, can't. Those are simple systems, right? Great hotels, they pay attention to things. There's customer intelligence in every, so if housekeeping, I know housekeeping isn't a big part of their in-stay experience. Maintenance, whoever comes to the room, whether they're there or not, and you see a book, and my page is creased, they'll put a bookmark. They'll bring back a bookmark. Maybe it's a bookmark with your logo and, whatever promotions. How nice is that? Toothpaste. Throw new toothpaste on there for them. Saw that you're out, thought you'd enjoy a couple. That's blowing people's minds, right? Relationship economy. There's 4 things I always know where they're at. Unfortunately, they're not my 3 boys. They're my cell phone, my wallet, my car keys, and my customer intelligent pad. Don't go anywhere without it. You guys got to have them. Got to have them. How many people here have relationships with their customers, the guests? Raise your hand. Okay? How many people have relationships with the owners? Raise your hand. Okay? How many people have relationships with the employees that work for you or with you? Okay. I don't believe any of you. That's a platitude. You have to prove everything to me. Okay? And here's how you prove if you have a relationship with anyone. You got to know 2 or more things of Ford. If you can tell me 2 or more things that they're Ford, you own them. Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. Remember, you can get these slides. I see people writing down feverishly. If you can tell me 2 of you, that's what I want to talk about. You guys get that. You guys get that. But we don't use it. Denny's group, Kevin, Angela. They were telling me about their amazing CRM system and how it does this. But you can have great systems, but lousy employee execution. It's not the employee's fault. It's management's fault. Say, this is a non-negotiable. Every time you come in contact with a guest, you have to provide one secret service. You're pulling them up. John, how is the weather in? Right? We haven't seen you since. Whatever that may be. These are our desk pads. So anyone that works at desks, right? Everyone. I don't want anyone to ask the customers these questions. That'd be like a stalker checklist, right? I'd get a restraining order on you. But you don't have to. Because as you know, as your reservation agents know, as anyone knows, when you're dealing with them, customers overshare. Why they want to come, why they're looking at June, July, January, what, is going on. We got to catch it. You'll get it said to you. You'll get it said to you. Have you ever bought a new car so excited because the salesman convinced you that this is the only color style this comes in, right? And what do you see an hour later? 15 orange Hummers, right? Did 15 other people have the same idea as you today? No. What's different? Your mind is primed to see what was there all the time, but now it's primed to see it.
This is an awareness test. How many passes does the team in white make?
Go!
The answer is 13.
Good job.
But did you see the moonwalking bear?
It's easy to miss something you're not looking for. We got to create these, that's why I carry the customer intelligence pad with me. So when I have a conversation, right, I'm not going to remember it. I turn, and I just talked to Sheila, and she went to Northern Illinois, right? Or Mark lives in Indianapolis the past 20 years. Right? Now the next time, you got to build this into your, and every CRM can do it. Ford, right? This is, our CRM. Our CRM allows us to customize. So if I'm having a call, I can go to my app, and there's his Ford. Our salon software, right? We know if you're new. The color is who you are. First time, return request, VIP. So you know how to treat them. Not treat them in that way, but welcome back, welcome for more explanation, right? A law firm heard this. They go back and they add a tab of Ford. Two things I love when I hang up with either of these companies. They say, thank you. Is there anything else we can do for you today, Mr. DiJulius? No, thanks for asking. We just want to thank you for being a platinum member since 2008. Wow, they must talk about me every morning. How do they know? It's in their software. You can do that. So that's American Express. We're a hair salon. We take it back and do it. We have 250,000 guests in our database, but our top 3,000 are silver, gold, and platinum. Anytime you access them, it comes up and we tell you. Thank you for being a gold member since. Thank you. By the way, I gave you your 10% off because of your benefits for being a gold member. Here's something that is a hotel that we borrowed. Great example. If your employees wear name tags, team member since, and then what their passion is. It has to be specific. It can't be life. It's reverse Secret Service. Oh, you like dogs? What kind of dog? I love dogs. You're a runner? Have you ever run? Oh, I'm trying to run my first. And then the next time I see you, the next time I come back, I remember her. It builds a rapport. It goes both ways. Instead of her just being this person, this unhuman person, we're both runners. We both have teenagers. We both have... This is my biggest pet peeve, and it happens in your world, I promise you. So I've traveled everywhere. This week I'm in 3 or 4 different hotels, going to Vegas this afternoon. 2,000, 3,000 check-ins. Maybe twice this has happened the right way. What do they ask at a hotel when you check in? ID and credit card, right? Fine, I like that. I mean, don't like it, I got to do it. 2 times out of 2,000. How was your trip in from Ohio or Cleveland? I'm handing you my address. Remember I said that the rules can't cost anything, can't add any time. I'm not asking you to go Google me and try to find out where I'm from. That is silly that 100% of the time. How was your trip in from Iowa? How was your trip in from Florida? And hopefully you know if they're a return guest. So that goes back to, you can have great systems, but are you making sure employees, it has to be listened. We have all this great information on our customers. Every time they call, I just want you to ask me one thing, you got to deliver one Secret Service, one Ford. It's right there. Unless I'm a new person you've never spoken with. But after that, how is the weather? We haven't seen you since. Every employee should have to come to my room to do something, and if they see me there, how was your trip in from Ohio? That's low-hanging fruit. That's simple stuff. Something for our manager, sales people. Do the 3-2-1. 3-2-1 is you got to send out 3 emails a week, 2 cards, and you make 1 phone call to a past guest. Got to do it. 3-2-1. Now, it's not about any promos, vacations, openings, nothing about that. It's just pick your thing. Obviously, don't know it. Don't do it twice at the same person. Dear Sheila, hope your fall's going great in Indianapolis, Indiana. Such and such made me think of you. Just want to tell you, you're one of the reasons why I love what I do. Hope our paths cross soon. Whatever that looks like. A non-soliciting, soft touch that puts your name in front of them in a non-soliciting way. And here's one more I'll share with you, and then I'm going to get out of here. Benson Curley, you can do this. One of my clients, they give a $25, their account executives have to do. Now, whoever you want to put this on, right, a quarter, they have to spend $25 a quarter on their guests. They have to give her, they sit around and say, well, how'd you spend it? Well, I found out her mother died, so I sent her flowers. Okay, great. How'd you do? Well, I bought 5 people $5 Starbucks cards. All right, well, he called me, and he just dropped off his son at college for the first time, and, in each person. You wouldn't believe the things you hear, the moonwalking bears you see when you have it that way. It's building relationships. It's making price irrelevant. Don't spend any time on the noise. Just focus on what you do and do it better than anyone else.
David Smith.
Nancy Andrews.
Yep. What are you up to these days?
I'm married. I've got 2 great kids. You want to see their pictures?
Yes. Wow.
How about you?
Married, no kids yet. Work for Southern Community Bank. Bunch of great customers. Want to see their pictures?
Sure.
This is Alice. She owns a shoe store. This is Kevin. He's saving to buy a house.
That's what I want you to be able to go in and say, I see that you had 6 phone calls. I see that you checked in 6 people. I see that you went to 5 properties today. And that's how I want them to explain. Have them focus on their Ford. Not your Ford, the customer's Ford, the owner's Ford, right? And so we talked about who's your customer, right? Have owner transparency. This is one of those things you're going to say, I don't like this. Some of you probably do it. After every guest, you get the satisfaction, right? Whatever it is, 1 to 5. Right? Send it. Every guest, send it. If it's a 1 or if it's a 5. Any comments they have, send it. Some people are told, owner can access anytime. No, send it. It's up to them if they want to read it. But here's 2 things that you will do if you're doing this. 1, you're going to be on your A game, and you're going to make sure your team's on your A game, because if you're sending them a bunch of 3s, and it's because she was rude, cold, the maintenance guy made me feel stupid, because, he says, oh, you got to plug it in, whatever, right? You're going to make sure that doesn't happen. But here's the second thing that's going to work in your favor. When I put a 3 or a 2, because this painting wallpaper from 1967 or the bed, all of a sudden the owner's going to wake up and realize, whoa, I guess you're right. When you tell me we need this, this, and this. He doesn't want 2s and 3s. He realizes it's not your fault. But if I just see I'm getting bad reviews as an owner, I'm getting bad reviews on the thing, and I'm blaming it on you guys. You guys stink as a management company. Oh, it's my fault. Oh, that changes everything. So it's going to hold you accountable, and it's going to hold the owner accountable. A revolution starts with a clear vision of a world different than the one we live in today. I want to welcome everyone here to the Customer Service Revolution. Thank you.